a story that goes far beyond their monetary value, reflecting a journey from absolute poverty to incredible wealth. Before we dive in, let's clear something up about the numbers floating around. Social media posts claim $8 million or more, while Ice Cartel valued the collection at $800,000 back in January 2024. Nobody outside his inner circle actually knows the exact number, and jewelry values shift constantly, but what we can confirm is that several individual pieces alone carry price tags in the hundreds of thousands, and we'll be breaking down every verified piece in this collection. Contrell Deshawn Galden was born October 20th, 1999 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which puts him at 26 years old today. The NBA in his stage name throws people off sometimes because it has nothing to do with basketball. It stands for Never Broke Again, which is both his personal mantra and the name of his record label. That phrase gains weight when you understand where he came from. Tragedy and struggle marked YoungBoy's early years in ways most people can't imagine. A 55-year prison sentence took his father out of the picture, leaving his maternal grandmother Alice to raise him, and when she passed away while he was still young, the foster care system swallowed him up. The abuse and bullying he experienced there became something he'd talk about openly later. A broken neck as a toddler forced him to wear a head brace that scarred his forehead permanently. Ninth grade was as far as he made it in school before dropping out, and shortly after that, a robbery charge landed him in juvenile detention, where he started writing lyrics. Someone who went from literally nothing, from the absolute bottom rung of society's ladder, now wears hundreds of thousands of dollars in jewelry. Every chain around his neck represents a distance traveled that most of us can't even comprehend, and that transformation started with a microphone purchased from Walmart. Low-budget recordings with his friend, OG33 Never Broke Again, came first, then the debut mixtape Life Before Fame in 2015, which caught the attention of Baton Rouge legends like Boosie Badazz and Kevin Gates. The real shift happened in 2016 when 38 Baby went viral on YouTube and changed everything overnight. To understand how he can afford this jewelry collection, you need to grasp just how massive NBA YoungBoy became in a remarkably short time. Until Death Call My Name peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 200 in 2018 and eventually went double platinum, while Outside Today, which dropped in January 2018, earned 4 times platinum certification from the RIAA. 5 consecutive years as the most streamed rap artist on YouTube in the United States, ending in 2023, put him in a category by himself. 2023 alone saw him ranked as the second most streamed artist overall in the US, with only Peso Pluma ahead of him, and that same year he moved 4.2 million album units to become the 6th best-selling artist in the entire country. First rapper to land #1 albums 3 years in a row from 2019 to 2021, 4 #1 albums total on the Billboard 200, youngest artist to chart 100 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, 85 million digital sales, more than 15 billion YouTube views, just under 16 million Spotify listeners, and a Grammy nomination in 2022 for Best Melodic Rap Performance, all add up to a career that generated serious money. 8 studio albums as of 2025, with Massa being the most recent drop. Make America Slime Again kicked off its tour September 1st, 2025 in Dallas, Texas, rolled through 42 cities for 42 shows, and wrapped in Seattle at the Climate Pledge Arena after selling out multiple nights and breaking attendance records. Net worth estimates swing wildly depending on who you ask. Celebrity net worth put him at $20 million in October 2025. Reality T said $8 million in July 2025. Free Job Alert landed between $6 and $10 million, and Rubber B claimed $6 million in December 2024. The point stands that he's made serious money, and a significant chunk of it went straight into his jewelry collection. The crown jewel, the 38 Baby pendant. Shine Jewelers created what might define NBA YoungBoy's entire collection, the 38 Baby pendant, valued at $200,000 and crafted from rose gold and white gold, completely covered in round-cut VVS natural diamonds. The name comes from his 2016 mixtape, 38 Baby, the project that launched him into stardom and changed his life forever. The cultural impact of this pendant went so far that Shine Jewelers ended up creating numerous replicas because people wanted copies. A piece of jewelry became culturally significant enough that fans demanded their own versions, which isn't just wealth on display, it's cultural influence crystallized in gold and diamonds. $150,000 went into the Young Thug tribute pendant, the second most expensive piece we can verify, also created by Shine Jewelers. Solid gold forms the base, multicolored VVS diamonds bring the detail, and 2 months of work brought the design to life when it first appeared in 2018, depicting Young Thug wearing sunglasses and smoking a blunt. What stands out about this piece is what it reveals about NBA YoungBoy as a person, because this isn't just about flexing wealth. Spending $150,000 to honor another rapper in a genre where beefs and competition usually dominate headlines tells you something about his character and where his priorities actually sit. Somewhere between $75,000 and $100,000, depending on the source, the NBA YoungBoy nameplate pendant exists as pure branding. Letters spelling NBA dominate the design, but the creative twist comes with a modified Michael Jordan logo where the figure holds a gun instead of a basketball, and below that sits a plate reading "Never Broke Again." Bold, controversial, and unmistakably his. You can't buy this kind of custom work off a shelf. This required a jeweler sitting down with an artist and translating an entire brand identity into wearable art by skilled craftsmen who understand his aesthetic and what he's trying to communicate through these pieces. NBA YoungBoy's wrist game matches his chain game in seriousness and expense. $200,000 bought him an iced-out Audemars Piguet skeleton watch featuring a 14-karat white gold strap absolutely covered in natural round-cut VVS diamonds with a minimalistic face that uses notches instead of numbers, 4 of which mark 20-minute intervals while the rest mark the hours. $50,000 secured an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak watch with the signature bezel containing 8 hexagonal screws, a white gold base encrusted with colorless VVS natural diamonds, and a 14-karat white gold strap covered with SIVVS natural round-cut flawless diamonds. Rubber B estimated his entire watch collection at approximately $1.5 million in December 2024. Multiple Audemars Piguet models fill out the collection, including the Royal Oak 41, the Royal Oak Chronograph, the Royal Oak Openworked, and the Royal Oak Offshore, along with several Rolexes like the Datejust 41 and multiple Day-Date 40 models. That's more than many people will earn in their entire lifetime, just sitting on his wrists. Price tags don't tell the whole story of YoungBoy's collection. Some pieces carry meaning that goes beyond money. Shine Jewelers built the slat pendant using a white gold base with baguette and round-cut diamonds, connecting it directly to a custom tennis chain without a bail to make it a completely custom creation. 4K Trey gets represented by the 4K T-chain, symbolizing his crew and collective, loyalty and brotherhood bonds. Family bonds. Growing up without a stable family structure meant everything to NBA YoungBoy, and the chain reflects that reality. Young Pretty Crippen chain is what YPC stands for, and it's become one of his iconic pieces, even though specific valuation information isn't publicly available. The Broken Heart chain gets designed as a heart split in half, representing heartbreak and pain and resilience, themes that run throughout his music and aren't abstract concepts when you've lived the life he's lived. They're daily realities. Coffins, 2 rifles, and 2K engraving make up the Gravedigger chain, one of his most talked about pieces that represents the struggles and battles he's faced throughout his life. Some people see this as morbid or dark, but staring death in the face multiple times, from a violent upbringing to time in the streets of Baton Rouge to various legal troubles, and still being here flips that interpretation completely. The Gravedigger chain isn't about death, it's about survival. Rose and white gold with emerald and round stones went into another custom coffin and chain that Shine Jewelers created, featuring infinity links, custom locket coffins, and sculpted images of Jesus and guns. Religious imagery juxtaposed with weapons tells you everything you need to know about the contradictions of his life and the world he comes from. 30 carats total with an 18.2 carat center stone and a full eternity band. That's what Shine Jewelers created when he got engaged to his wife Jazz, a custom engagement ring that goes beyond just being jewelry. Let that number sink in for a second. 30 carats isn't just an engagement ring, it's a statement about commitment and what she means to him. And in a world where YoungBoy has faced betrayal and instability his entire life, that ring represents something permanent and real. Shine Jewelers gets mentioned repeatedly throughout this video for a reason, because this Philadelphia-based jeweler created the majority of NBA YoungBoy's most iconic pieces. The 38 baby pendant, the Young Thug pendant, the slat pendant, the coffin pendant and chain, the engagement ring, and various other custom creations all came from their workshop. What makes this relationship between artist and jeweler work is that it's not YoungBoy walking into a store and pointing at things in a display case. A collaborative creative process unfolds where YoungBoy's vision and story get translated into wearable art by skilled craftsmen who understand his aesthetic and what he's trying to communicate through these pieces. Jewelry Unlimited contributed the Anarchy chain with a werewolf link, adding another unique piece to his collection. Patterns emerge when you look at NBA YoungBoy's jewelry collection as a whole. Gold in various forms dominates his choices: yellow gold, white gold, and rose gold, while silver accents complement the main pieces. Cuban link chains, tennis chains, diamond-encrusted pendants, iced-out watches, custom bracelets, and rings make up the collection's inventory. Diamonds covering almost every visible surface create the heavily iced-out aesthetic that defines his style. And these aren't subtle pieces. These are bold and flashy and demand attention. Customization and personalization set his collection apart from generic wealth displays. The 38 baby pendant represents his breakthrough. The young thug pendant represents respect and artistry. The symbolic pieces represent pain acknowledged and overcome. The engagement ring represents love and commitment despite a life that taught him trust was dangerous. Autobiography written in gold and diamonds, a reminder written in VVS stones and precious metals. Never Broke Again isn't just a name, it's a promise kept to himself, made by a scared kid in juvenile detention who decided he was going